Hey, y'all, Timmy's Genevieve, Laced in Space, Constellations on LSD. Thanks for tuning in. You could have been anywhere else. Excited to be here with me. So always want to show gratitude, always want to show appreciation. Always want to let you guys know that I'm so grateful that you're rocking out here with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the sessions. Thank you for the confirmations. Thank you for the hit-ups. Thank you for the collaborations. Thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you. Now, today I wanted to talk about transit check. This is great for those who want to do horoscopes, want to just even know how to work with the energy of the day, work with the energy for a short period of time to a long period of time. Now, it's very important to look at it at the transits numerologically, number-wise. It's important to do that because that lets you get into the basis of the energy. That's why I'm doing this class on degree theory, to let you know how, yes, the planets matter and the sign that it's in, but the degree lets you get to the T of the energy. So we're going to go down with the transits of today, June 18th, 2025. The sun is in Gemini at 27 degrees. The moon is in Pisces. It's at 27 degrees right now when the time I'm doing this video. It's 2 o'clock. But it'll move into Aries at 5 p.m. Eastern time zone. So you already should start seeing the moon to move into Aries. It'll move into Aries within 3 hours, 3.5 hours, right? So we also have Mercury in Cancer, 18 degrees. We have Venus in Taurus, 12 degrees. We have Mars in Virgo, 0 degrees. Jupiter in Cancer, 2 degrees. We have Saturn in Aries at 1 degree, Neptune in Aries at 2 degrees, Pluto in Aquarius at 3 degrees, Uranus in Taurus at 29 degrees, Chiron in Aries at 26 degrees, North Node in Pisces at 22 degrees, right? Working with degree theory, put all the numbers in order, starting from 1 being at Aries to 29 being at Leo, and count up, go up. And assign these numbers to that energy, degree theory. And I'm going to put it at the bottom of the video as well, just so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, the sun being in Gemini, that means the sun energy is going to put the sunshine on, the light on, Gemini energy, but also those who have mutable energy, Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, and also air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and why this sun energy is centering you and why it always does. Every year, whenever the sun comes into Gemini, where it starts to center the mutables and the air signs. So if you are already attuned with this, you'll know that mutable seasons in Gemini, mutable season in Gemini will center you if you are a mutable and if you are an air. Last season, when the sun was in Taurus, it centers the earth signs, Taurus, Leo, the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and the fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. In a few days, when the sun comes into Cancer, it'll center the water signs, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, and the cardinal signs, Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn. So get ready for Cancer season, water signs and cardinal signs. Right now, the season is for air signs and mutable signs. And right now, for the air signs and the mutable signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, where are you at finalizations points where you feel like you need to center self-esteem? You need to center the sense of courage, confidence. You need to center your resources, celebrating yourself, congratulating yourself. Where you also need to watch your ego at the same time, since sun was here. So this was for the air and the mutables. And where you are continuously doing that. And since it's at 27 degrees, there's a lot of planning that's going on for now, mutable and air signs. You're looking at your career, your long-term goals. You're trying to have a planner at this moment. It's like you're trying to put things in some sort of like, okay, what can the future look like? What kind of work can I be doing? It's also asking you if you want to do something part-time right now, that can build into something long-term, depending how you like it. So where you're in like a testy period right now, I'm testing things out. You're going to have deep conversations today. So it's either you're going to feel a need to really be a therapeutic, supportive energy to someone, or you give them great advice, and vice versa. So both energy for today, since that 27 degrees. And I would tell you guys to write today. Write some things out, put some content out, especially if you're a content creator. With the moon being in Pisces, the moon right now is centering the mutable. So it's just been an important weekend into the beginning of this week for the mutables in general. So Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, the last 3-4 days, there's just been a lot of things don't go as planned, having to be flexible, going into themes where you, it's okay if you have more than one idea. It's okay if you are back at the drawing board and you're realizing certain mistakes. It's okay if you are still figuring out your path. And when I say figuring out your path, realizing that let's just be okay in knowing that we finished the day out, that we are finishing the week out. It's okay if we're not looking at things long term for now. Let's just be able to do. I can still do. So looking at that as well, like just knowing that if you can find a way to do it, do it. So that's been the energy for the last 4 days, right? Now around 5 p.m., the moon is going to move into Aries. So around 5 p.m. Eastern time, if you start to feel like a shift of energy, if you start to feel like your mood, especially if you're a moon dominant, that you're starting to get a little emotional, that you're realizing the change in the vibes, it's because the moon is moving into Aries. And since the moon has to go through that 0 degrees, it's okay if it's not till like 7 o'clock that you start to feel like, all right, I've adjusted into this moon shift. Now, this is going to center the cardinals and the fire signs for the moon energy. So for the cardinal and the fire signs, around 5 p.m. Eastern time, where is it time to start new projects, take initiative, have necessary confrontations, necessary meetings, meet certain obligations, find the courage, separate from any types of feelings that make you feel like you have any type of fear. Start doing things where you want to update paperwork, licenses, passports, things where you're like, okay, it's time to get busy. And this is for those who have cardinal placements. And since the moon is coming into Aries, whenever any planet comes into Aries, we're starting over. We're starting at the top of the chart again. So on an emotional level, where has the cardinals and the fire signs feel like, okay, I'm starting from scratch in some kind of way. And for the cardinals, Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, where do you feel like you have to start from scratch? You thought this was going to be it. And even where like you thought this was going to be it, you're realizing it's time to have more of adulting. It's not even time for you to even be weak at the moment. And we have a few placements in Cardinal to support you. Mercury in Cardinal, Cancer. Jupiter in Cardinal, Cancer. Saturn in Cardinal, Aries. Neptune in Cardinal, Aries. And Chiron in Cardinal, Aries. So for the Cardinals, if you feel a little scared, if you feel unsure, if you feel like, all right, it's like I have to even like come into a brand new me, go into like a complete reshift of like, your mind state, your outlook. You got a few planets that's here to support you in that. And the moon is definitely going to get you in your feels. But we first have to let these 2 hours finish out the feels of mutable. Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius. The moon energy has just been very centered for you. Your conversations with women, your conversations with children, your conversations with your emotional well-being, where you even have conversations around, your home life, those types of themes. And just important even for the collective, but definitely for the mutables, where you needed to like trust the cosmos, have a sense of faith, believe that at the end of the day, everything's going to work out. So that's just been important for the collective, but definitely the mutable energies for the last 4 days. Now with Mercury being Cancer at 8 degrees. So Mercury being in Cancer at 8 degrees. Mercury being Cancer at 18 degrees, my apologies. And also today being June 18th. So today is a day about Virgo energy and how you share with others. There's just something about having proper boundaries that you'll be having a conversation in. And since Mercury is in Cancer, it's going to ask you to reflect on your past decisions. This is a nostalgic energy. So it's even something where it's like you're like, you might even have a dream today, like from yesterday and like last night into this morning, where you were just thinking about the past and how you really dealt with people. Because 18 degrees means that this is a relationship degree, and 18 degrees is also Virgo energy, and today has a Virgo date, 18. So you're going to be looking at you and other people and where you have to have a proper understanding of yes and no. How do you say yes to people and how do you say no to people? It's going to be also a theme where you are complimented on your sense of aesthetic, physique, and where you even want to work on, your overall physical shape, your how you look in the mirror, how you find a sense of self-acceptance. But it's going to ask you to first reflect on how other relationships with other people really colored that, and where it's now time for you to center what I want for myself, how I want to operate on these one-on-ones. But there is a Virgo theme within self and other people. Also, whenever it's a Virgo, we're going to be doing some sort of cleaning, organizing, getting things in order, planning, finding where we could have more efficiency and building the lifestyles that we want. It's just going to reflect on the past. And you might even have some dreams, some deja vus, just some nostalgic energy where you're like, you know what? I used to do this. I had a tendency of doing this. Where do I need to work on this so I can have better partnerships, especially when it comes to better conversations around within partnerships, especially around boundaries and being able to say yes and no, being able to realize that you can change, that your standards could change every day. It's okay. Like, you're allowed to upgrade your standards. Now, with Venus being in Taurus at 12 degrees, Venus being in Taurus means it's going to aspect the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and it's also going to aspect the fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Now, since it's in 12 degrees, that means it's in a Piscean degree. Fixed signs and earth signs, you got to have faith that you will be supported, you will be valued, that it will come to you. Try not to become so OCD and anxious and even critical of when you don't have or when you feel like you're lacking, because in the next moment you might find abundance again. So it wants you to, with Venus being in Taurus at 12 degrees, it wants you to have more of a spiritual connection with resources. This is for the earth signs and for the fixed signs. It wants you to know that no matter what, if you are doing what you need to do and you are investing in the right things, that the universe will support you. So if you have any fixed energy or earth energy, the universe will support you as long as you believe you should be supported. And that's what this energy is asking you in 12 degrees. It's also asking you to dive into creativity for the fixed signs and the earth signs. Maybe it's time for you to get some equipment, a new laptop, a new laptop backdrop, things for the house, equipment. Maybe even it's time for you to even get a little selfish and buy some things that's personally for you, like not necessarily for the household. Maybe you want a new car. Maybe you want to do some sort of, you want to buy some new clothes. You want to do some energy, you want to go into some energy where you are deserving of this. And it's just going to help you, because it's definitely going to help you come out of this shadow or this hermit mode that you could be feeling right now. You just want to get out of that. So that's for the fixed and the earth signs. Now Mars in Virgo is in limbo right now because it's at 0 degrees. So this is going to center the mutables and the earth signs again. So mutables, Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, and the earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Where are you in limbo right now? Where are you feeling like, okay, I gotta start making a plan. I gotta start finding out this consistency. I gotta start better habits. I gotta get into this organization that I know is going to change my life. I gotta adjust to what has changed also in the last week. But since it's at 0 degrees, give yourself grace and knowing that it's okay if you're still in a still moment. You're not too sure what to anticipate. You haven't adjusted well yet. You're still clumsy in this energy. You still don't feel that and that fulfillment in these decisions that you need to make. And that's for mutable energy, Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, and earth energy. That's okay, because you need this to come into some sort of degree. When it's at 0 degrees, you're just floating. You're building the essence of the energy. You're not yet putting the action into the energy. So it's okay if you can't see the end of the tunnel right now, mutables and earth signs. It's okay if you're just taking things day by day right now, because you'll come into the and get that Mars, that push, that drive, that you're looking for within like 2 days. 2 days, you should be there. So once we leave out our moon in Aries, we'll see by this weekend why you start to feel so much better and adjust better to what these new plans, these new shifts for the earth signs and the mutables. So this is an important weekend for you, mutables and earth signs. Now Jupiter in Cancer. Jupiter in Cancer, it's going to center the cardinals and the water signs. Jupiter in Cancer, cardinals and the water signs, Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, and the water signs, Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. It's time for you to open up abundance in your life. And Jupiter is married to Juno, so some of you are getting married, taking these vacations, trying to have a baby, want to get a house, get a family house, want to upgrade just the overall theme of your home life. And this is for the cardinals and for the water signs. This is definitely a time for real estate. So if you guys are looking for houses, look for houses in your area, because it's time for you to build. Like, you want to bring abundance into the home. This is also a time where you're even going to do things for the family that lets them come into some sort of maturity. Maybe it's time for the family to get passports. Maybe it's time for the family to go on a real big vacation. Maybe it's time for the family to come into taking in on a responsibility together. So this is a great time. This could be a time for the cardinals and also the water signs to even have some family reunions at the moment. Now, since it's at 2 degrees, it's real early, and 2 degrees is Taurus energy. So first, for the cardinals and the water signs, what do you want? What do you feel is going to give you that sense of stability, support, comfortability? That will now help you build these Jupiter and Cancerian themes. But you're still in the baby energies of it. Same thing with Neptune being in Aries, Saturn being in Aries. So cardinals, you are going to feel such a huge start over, a huge new beginning. Take your time, because what you just left, you put so much work into it, so much years into it. So take your time. Just take your time. Take your time processing, building this, and looking at this as a rebirth in your life, since so much energy is in cardinal. Now, Saturn being in Aries, just like I was speaking before, it's aspecting Jupiter in Cancer, it's aspecting Neptune in Aries. So the cardinals are going through a spiritual awakening. And this is for those who have cardinal and angular houses, cardinal stelliums. This is just important for you, like 1st, 4th, 7th, 10th house. That's cardinal and angular houses. And anything just even aspecting cardinal energy in your chart. You're going through a rebirth, a rebrand. So give yourself grace and take your time. I want to put a lot of emphasis on that. So Saturn and Aries at 1 degree. Now we just came out of this limbo point. Also Saturn, once we get into like Saturn and on, now we're looking at like the government, the bigger wide world, society, politics, healthcare, stock, resource, treasury, all that energy. So Saturn being in Aries means that this is a whole new, they're trying to build even a whole new constitutions. Remember, when we come into Aries, we're coming back into the top of the chart again. So Saturn Aries means they're trying to do a whole new thing with policing, politicians, government, all of that energy. They're trying to do something new with laws, everything dealing with how we as a society cohabitate underneath certain laws, all new things. We already know Aries energy is aggressive, so there can be some sort of, there will be some sort of confrontations, wars. Especially since at 1 degree, that's double. And it's only because the world wants something new. This is for the collective. The world wants something new. The people are upset. There's radicals being born right now. They're going to take out, or they're going to do things to take out some of our biggest leaders so we could get new rules. And that's what this is about. We need new rules. New rules. Neptune and Pisces. I'm sorry, Neptune and Aries, Saturn and Aries. New rules. And they're at early degrees. There are certain things, Jupiter and Cancer, that are outdated, that are wrapped in a lot of the early understandings of racism, early themes of racism, prejudice, cultural differences. And it's time for it to change, a square. So we're going to build some radicals right now. We're going to, like, a lot of powerful leaders are about to be born right now because of these changes that need to be made. And they're going to have cardinal placement. So anyone, like any of you who have like Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, where you feel like you're some sort of advocate, activist, that you're here to help, bring representation to a repressed group of people, oppressed group of people. Because you'll always be the leader of the pack in some capacity. So we're going to really, you're going to find some radicals being born during this time. And if you're a baby, like if you're like conceiving during this time, especially within these next 2.5 years, it's a very karmic child that's being born. Especially during a time of a lot of political societal turmoil. Now Saturn's going to be the government and the themes of law, social structure. Neptune's going to be our healthcare, our schools, our social services. So that's also taking the change. And right now, since it's at 2 degrees, that means it's in the financial sector where we want to pay for things. And that's why you can see some news out right now where Trump is talking about like things being like with tariffs, tax tips, things going on even with the markets right now, the stock markets, the money markets. You're going to see that. And this is a great time for like any type of starter ups too. So if you have anything that's like you're trying to like if you're looking to invest in starter ups, or if you're trying to build a starter up, this is a great time for that, especially if they operate in like Aries energy, something that's very progressive, new school energy, definitely something that has some sort of understanding of AI and things like that, meta and things like that. And also people already see new faces. So pick some of the most unique people to bring in this newness to the realms, to the industries. Now Pluto being in Aquarius, Pluto is a resource sign, so this is going to be where the money markets are. Since in Aquarius, it is a time where Aquarius is going to be more alternative resources, things like that. So you gotta really, when I say alternative, it's not really the money that you have on hand. So with Pluto being Aquarius, it's actually a great time for anyone, especially the fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. And air signs, look to see where you could get into certain loans, grants, life insurance policies, stocks, saving accounts, mutual funds, things like that. It's just very important. And since it is Gemini energy, 3 degrees, for the fixed signs and for the air signs, just ask questions. Like, you don't have to hurry up and make a decision. Just try to get the most information you can in these industries and see how it can be beneficial for you. It'll be towards more the later this year, 2025, later 2025 and 2026, that you'll start to really see what you want to start investing in. But right now, just open up where you could just get the questionings of it, the ends, just to get the basics, the knowledge of it. And don't be afraid to, go into anything that opens up group finances. Join that credit union that you've been thinking about. If you're any out there, if you really trust these people, join those susus and those money. It's if you're Caribbean, you know what susu is. So it's one of those things where a bunch of people, they put in money every week and then you get your cut. See groups of people who want to maybe get a Bitcoin or get a cryptocurrency with you, and be strategic about it, be knowledgeable about it, and invest into that, because you don't know what the future can hold. Get into that life insurance policy. I know you've been thinking about it. Fixed signs, you really need to be thinking about it, because there's just something around your health, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, or the health of your people, that you just have to be aware that you got to make sure that at the end of the day, with you here or not, that there is something saved up for the family, or for yourself, for the ones you love. So that's the energy with Pluto being in Aquarius. With Uranus being in Taurus at 29 degrees, for the fixed signs and the earth signs, this is a time for community. You don't have to do this alone. That's the conversation. It's also a time for you to really get into your creativity and maybe do some sort of group classes, group events. Go out there and, showcase yourself. Don't hide yourself from those types of connections. It's also a time where it's asking you, same thing with Pluto and Aquarius. This could be similar. Resources, where can you have more of a diverse, where can you build more of a portfolio, is going to be important for the fixed sign, especially Taurus. And since they're 29 degrees, Leo. This could be also a time where it's asking you to rearrange a lot of the things that you can have been investing in. And when I say rearrange, an energy where it's okay, let's look at your entire portfolio and see what is a priority and what is no longer a priority, especially when it comes to expenses. So that's going to be important as well with Uranus and Taurus, especially for the fixed signs and for the earth signs. And content. I am Sun in Scorpio at 28 degrees. And the Uranus and Taurus right now, 29 degrees, just has me I need to put content. I need to showcase myself. I need to just do something where I really bring out that creativity in some capacity, right? So this is also to all the fixed signs and all the earth signs. If you are a creative, put out that content. And maybe you've been feeling a need to do that, to really get into the depths of your artistry, especially if it can help you meet so many different people and just build a community, find a tribe. So why it's been important for you as a fixed sign to find a tribe and earth sign. Now, Chiron being in Aries is going to be an Achilles, and that's been a theme, especially for Aries and also cardinal signs. It's since 2018-19, you've just been feeling some sense of crutch or insecurity around, are you sure you're going down the right path? And now it could be a childhood theme too as well, since Chiron is the wounded healer. The childhood wounded healer. So it could be something too that you've also had to realize, this is a childhood crutch that I've had, a childhood setback, insecurity that I've had that's now following me into adulthood, and where you have to come into the depths of self and realizing that as long as you confront these issues, you can change these issues, even if you got to go all the way back into the past. It's also asking you, especially cardinals and fire signs, if you're doing the right work, if you're really going towards your passion and what you really want to do. So that's also an energy that's also been a little bit of an Achilles. And it's also a time where you've been in your healing energy as well for cardinals and fire signs. You've been really trying to work on yourself, heal yourself, and also giving yourself space, because Chiron healed other people, but didn't succumb to its own setbacks, shortcomings. So where you're also realizing that you have natural shortcomings, and you just have to be aware of it so it doesn't hurt you or hurt others. So that's going to be important for the Chiron energy in Aries, connected to the cardinals and the fire signs. And where it's also, especially for the parents out there who are fire and cardinal, where it's just been important for you to work on your inner child so you don't bring unnecessary suffering or just, any type of suffering to your children and yourself, to your family. You also feel cardinal and fire signs where your sense of leadership is. Are you a good leader? Especially in leading yourself first. And that's just been important. And that started since 2018-19 and just working on yourself. And also, since it's a collective energy, we're also going to look at a lot of our higher ups and people that we are, pioneers, highly respected individuals, and where we realize just with this transit, everybody's human. Everybody has their own shortcomings. We shouldn't idolize people. We should first work on centering ourselves. Everyone can be humbled. And where for the fire and the cardinal signs, you are now experiencing a humbling moment as we finish this Chiron and Aries transit. So the next 2 years, and then Chiron moves into Taurus, are real humbling moments for the cardinals and for the fire signs. Nodes being in Piscean at 22 degrees, that's a Capricorn degree, a career degree, and this is going to be for the Piscean especially, and also for the node, for the mutables, Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius. Where has this been an energy where you have to trust that if you are if you are sure of what you want to do, that you will reach there. And when I say that, it's sometimes believing is enough. So I'm going to explain this a little further with a mutable energy, Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, and water. Because you wished upon a star and you were like, this is what I want to do. This is what I believe I need to do. And you continuously feed the belief, you will reach there. So for the water signs and the mutables, where are you realizing no matter what, you can't get away from what you know you're supposed to do? That you got to be careful what you ask for because you're really going to get it. North Node in Piscean. Let it be for water. My son just started screaming. Let it be North Node in Piscean, water, and mutable. That no matter what, as long as you believe, you shall achieve. That when you sat on your knee, when you were on your knees begging God, begging the universe, that you wanted to be here, that you needed to be here, that this would give you the freedom, the peace of mind, and you're receiving it. But where are you receiving it in ways where you have to let go of certain things, and where even if you're not ready, it's just happening naturally. So where are you realizing that life is now shifting and making its way to get into what you want? So those themes. I had to loop the video because my son was like screaming. So North Node in Pisces, you got to be careful what you ask for. Because you're going to get it, especially since it's at 22 degrees, especially when it comes to the careers, the things that you dream to become in the long term. You dream for the later parts of your life, because it's at a Capricorn degree. You dreamed when you were younger or many moons ago. And this is going to be important for the mutables, Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, and the water signs. Where was it many moons ago that you prayed for this, that you hoped for this, and now you're getting it? And where can it be coming in ways where you're like, ooh, I didn't know it would have to remove things, block things, even force me into a sense of maturity, adulthood, for me to get these things. So this is a big transit on be careful what you wish for. So this is the transit check. Always love, always gratitude. I'm trying to really work with the Uranus and Taurus and get this content out, and just also, help the collective. That's what it's all about. Like, this stuff really helps me. I really follow this. And I know I'm going to get to where I need to get because I'm following it. I'm being obedient. This is one of the major things that's helped me get obedient. So I share with you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm so grateful for you guys. And I see you guys later. Always love, always gratitude.